How's everybody doing? Tractor Head 04 here. It's been about 3 years since I have done an update video on the tractor collection, so I figured it was definitely way overdue to do some filming and show everybody what's in the collection as of right now. So let's head in and get things going here. First off, we have my 1964 Cup Cadet Model 100. I got this tractor in 2013, I believe. It's been a really great workhorse. Definitely enjoy running it. And plan to restore it at some point in the future here. Need to get a new frame under it. This tractor by a previous owner actually was run through a garage door, and the frame has got a pretty bad twist in it. It's gusseted up right now. I have another frame to throw under it, so I figure when I swap frames it'd be a perfect time to get the tractor restored. Next up, we have my 1963 Cup Cadet Original. I have owned this tractor since 2010. It has been in Lawn and Garden Tractor magazine as well as Cup Cadet Connection. It's a really great tractor. Those of you who know Cup Cadets may notice the unique PTO kit and mower under it, which was a really rare option for these. Didn't really know the kit existed until I bought this one. It's the only one of them I've seen in person complete. I've seen one other that didn't have everything with it, but definitely pretty rare, and it definitely gets a lot of looks at the tractor shows, and I'm really proud to have it in my collection. Down the row here is a 1966 John Deere Model 110. I've owned this tractor since 2014. It's pretty unique in the fact that it has the factory headlights, hubcaps, and I need to get the rest of the kit, but it also has the sleeve hitch on it, so whoever bought this one definitely optioned it out quite a bit. Plan to restore it at some point, but whoever painted it, while it's not the right shade of green, actually didn't do too bad of a job on it, so it still actually looks pretty decent, and so not sure when I'll get around to redoing it. Go down the row here is my buddy's actually 1965 Cup Cadet 100. It stores here. He doesn't have a place to really keep it out of the weather, so I've had it here since I think around 2012, 2013. The tractor is restored, obviously. It was restored in 2010, 2011, I believe, and then it had some paint flaking issues, and I redid everything but the tin work on it in 2015, I believe it was. It also gets quite a bit of looks at the shows, and it's a real nice tractor. Next down the row is kind of one that I enjoy having in the collection as well. It's a 1961 Cup Cadet Original. This tractor is serial number 2020, which would make it one of the first 1,500 Cup Cadets off the assembly line, I believe. So it is still in its factory original paint from when it was new. Not sure whether I plan to keep it that way or give it a restoration down the road, as it does have quite a bit of paint flake and bare spots and stuff. But for now, I've just decided to leave it alone, and it's pretty cool to have because of it just being so bare bones. When Cup Cadet came out with the tractors there in January of 1961, sorry, this is a February model, but they actually come out in January. The dealers hadn't received shipments of some of the options, being the headlights, the fenders, all the kind of dress-up stuff. So unless you took your tractor back after that stuff came in stock, it was pretty much bare bones like this. And the only add-on options this thing really has is it does have the rear sleeve hitch, and it also went to the IH dealer in 1962 to get the creeper unit installed. This is a little bit of an oddball of the collection. It's a 1971, I believe, Homelite Yard Track 526. I actually had this tractor given to me back in 2011, I believe. And it's got a couple little engine issues I need to get figured out. I don't know if it's got a carburetor issue or it's got a valve hanging or what, because it does start and run, and when it runs great, but it doesn't seem to stay running for very long. So I haven't been able to track down whether it's a carburetor issue, or I'm starting to wonder if it doesn't have a valve that hangs up once in a while. So need to get some time and dig into it and address it, but definitely anxious to get it running right again and get it definitely done up, because it's the only one of them I've ever seen in person. Next in line here is one that's really special to me. This is a 1948 Farmall Cub. I got this tractor off of my grandparents in 2016, and this tractor has been in our family for almost 40 years now. So it used to mow the orchards up at the family farm some time ago, and when my grandparents moved off of that farm, where they live now, it just didn't see near as much work because they didn't have as much land. So I ended up dealing it off of them in 2015. It needs the engine overhauled. The main bearings are getting kind of worn, so it doesn't run too high a oil pressure. I mean, these never did anyway, but it needs an engine overhaul kit, and it'll eventually get a restoration as well. But it is definitely one that is really proud to have in my collection, with being in the family for so long. Next up is a 1967 Cup Cadet 123. I got this tractor in 2010, I believe, and it, sort of like the 100, is in its work clothes just because it's been such a good worker. I kind of hate to clean it up and paint it when I still use it once in a while. It's done everything from plowed snow. It mows a section of the field out back that I keep mowed up pretty regularly, and just a really great all-around running tractor, and I'm happy to have it. Back up here a little bit, we have I believe it is a 1969. I've never actually ran the serial number on this one, but it is a Cup Cadet 125. I dealt this one off of my aunt and uncle in 2017, which would have been last year. It was my aunt's father's tractor, and he had it for quite a few years and used it, and then as he got older and he eventually passed away, sadly, the tractor just sat, and my aunt and uncle got it, and it just wasn't quite big enough to do what they wanted to do with it, so they ended up dealing it to me. And I've used it a little bit around the house here. It has done a little bit of mowing of the field out back with the 123 as well. This tractor, I plan to possibly next winter hook my IH 36-inch snow thrower to and use it a little bit to do some snow removal, because of it being a hydro, it will be the speeds of it, you know, with the hydros having infinite speed, it'll make it really a good match for the snow thrower. And I could put it on the 123 as well, but I just really like the way the 125 runs. It seems just a little bit smoother, so it'll be a good one to run. Next up, we have a 1971 Cup Cadet 108. This is actually a little bit special to me as well, I suppose. This is actually the first Cup Cadet tractor I ever restored. I ended up selling it, and the owners ended up not using it too much, so they ended up dealing it back to me. And I don't really have it for a long time here. I plan to do some work to it. I'm going to throw a mower deck under it, and it is probably going to go back up for sale. But it's kind of neat to have the first Cup Cadet I restored back home here, at least for a little bit. And actually, this tractor, this exact tractor, if some of you that are IH fans own some of the knockoff Cup Cadet stuff that's got like all the different series and models on it, this tractor is actually what whoever did those products used for the picture for the 8 and 9 series. I have a t-shirt that's got all the series on it, and when I saw it, I just happened to notice the seat on this tractor, as well as some overspray that was on the front tire that I hadn't had cleaned off at the time that I took the picture of this after I got it done. So it was pretty cool to see my tractor on, well, it's not, registered IH stuff, it's knockoff. It's pretty cool to see one of my tractors on those products, so it's pretty cool. Next up is a 1963, I believe, Moto Mower 6000 model. This tractor has the 36-inch Haben snow thrower on the front. And it's been a pretty good tractor. I got it in 2016. I haven't really used it to blow snow much with it. The engine on it's just not quite what I would like it to be. It's got some issues with the governor, which I don't like. And it doesn't run right in the wintertime. I can't seem to get the carburetor dialed in. It runs great in the summertime, but in the wintertime it just does not seem to want to run. And with the governor issues and me just not being a big fan of this being an aluminum block Briggs, I have ended up snagging an 8-horse Kohler, which the cousin tractors to this, the Massey Ferguson Executives, would have ran. So at some point here, still over the winter or in the spring, I am going to convert this over to an electric start Kohler, so it's a little more reliable and I can actually use the thing in the winter. And stay tuned for that, because I will probably be filming that project and I'm pretty anxious for it. So let me go to the other garage here and I will show you the last one in the collection. Okay, last up here we have a Cup Cadet 104. I haven't run the serial number on this one also, but I would assume it's a 1968 possibly. That was the year they made the most of these, so if I just had to take a stab at it, I would guess it's that. I mean, it's 67, 68, or 69, but more than likely it's a 68. And I bought this off a buddy of mine's son and got it home. It needed some work to get running again, but boy, once I got it running, this thing runs like an absolute top. I mean, I threw a set of my chains and wheel weights on the tractor, and it, like I said, it just absolutely runs like a top. I can take this thing in any temperature and it'll just fire right up and go, which is great. I mean, I've had some days where the bigger tractors don't want to start because it's so cold out, and I just come down to this garage and this thing fires right up and I can get the snow removal done. So it's a great runner. This thing in the spring, I'll be pulling off my snow blade and weights and chains and putting the mower that came with it back on, and it will also be going up for sale. Just while it runs so good, I just don't really have the room for it and have no need for it because I've got other ones that'll do the same jobs. So look for it for sale in the spring here as well. But basically, that is the tractor collection here. So I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully, as I get some time here, I'll be able to get a few more of these restored. Been busy working on the 37 Plymouth, if you guys have been following it quite a bit, and the Torino before that. So been pretty busy with the car projects and haven't had too much time to mess with the tractors per se. But I've got a couple projects that I want to get some maybe of my implements done in the spring, so I'll probably throw something together with that, whether I do a little filming as I do them or just do like a photo slideshow of restoring maybe my Brindley disc or plow, or even the radio flyer trailer hanging up there. So Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more as always.